Welcome, fellow Toastmasters. The 2021 annual business meeting will come to order. I am Richard E. Peck, your international president and presiding officer at this meeting. Welcome all delegates, members, and guests. It is exciting to have your presence here today from around the globe and on multiple platforms. During the course of this meeting, the Credentials and International Leadership Committee reports will be presented. Also, you will have the opportunity to hear from the candidates. Voting delegates, as a reminder, if you wish to participate during the meeting, you must join on the Zoom platform using the unique link that was emailed to you. Use the Q&A function when directed to participate. Credentials Committee member, past International President Gary Schmidt will be monitoring the Q&A and communicating with the chair throughout the meeting. Voting for this meeting will be conducted electronically. The election results will be announced on August 27 at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, UTC-4. It is hoped that all voting delegates have attended the voting training session on how to complete and submit the electronic ballots. The video training is available online on the annual business meeting page on the Toastmasters International website for your reference. Other resources available on the annual business meeting page are the links to the additional information on the candidates. Due to the continued COVID-19 pandemic, the board of directors has made some difficult decisions to support our members worldwide. Holding this meeting online to protect the safety and health of our membership is one decision that was made. Another was the method by which voting will occur. This will be discussed in detail later. At this time, our officials for this meeting will be introduced. Our officials are the members of the Credentials Committee, distinguished Toastmasters all. Chair, past International Director Jim Coley. Co-chairs, past International President Gary Schmidt, past International Director Elisa Tai. Supervising Director, distinguished Toastmaster, International Director Mohammed Qayyum. Parliamentarian, distinguished Toastmaster, Registered Parliamentarian Patty Titus. At this time, the Credentials Committee will present its report. Please welcome Chair Jim Coley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Of a total of 16,001 Toastmaster clubs eligible to vote, 5,334 are required for a quorum. The Credentials Committee validated credentials for 11,476 clubs for a total of 22,952 ballots. With a total of 327 delegates at large eligible to vote, the committee validated credentials for 243 delegates at large. A total of 23,195 ballots can be cast at the 2021 annual business meeting. The total clubs and delegates at large represented meets the 1/3 requirement. We have a quorum. The votes needed for a majority are 11,598, assuming all votes are cast and valid. At this time, I would like to thank my fellow committee members, past International President Gary Schmidt, past International Director Elisa Tai, Parliamentarian Patty Titus, and Supervising Director from the Board of Directors, International Director Mohammed Qayyum. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, past International Director Coley and members of the Credentials Committee. A quorum is present. Unless there is an objection, the Credentials Committee report will be adopted. If you have an objection, please use the Q&A function and include your name and club number. There being no objections, the Credentials Committee report is adopted by unanimous consent. The rules of order for this meeting have been made available for your review on the annual business meeting page. Unless there is an objection, the rules of order will be adopted as posted. If you have an objection, please use the Q&A function and include your name and club number. There being no objections, the rules of order are adopted by unanimous consent. The agenda for this meeting has been made available for your review on the annual business meeting page. Space is available on the back of the agenda if you wish to record the Credentials Committee report or other notes. Unless there is an objection, the agenda will be adopted as posted. If you have an objection, please use the Q&A function and include your name and club number. There being no objections, the agenda is adopted by unanimous consent. The minutes of the August 2020 annual business meeting were approved by the Board of Directors in September 2020 and are available on the Toastmasters International website. Pursuant to Article 9, Section 2B of the bylaws of Toastmasters International, any qualified person may stand for election to one and only one office at this annual business meeting. Consequently, if a candidate fails to be elected to one office, the candidate is not eligible to be nominated for another office. As mentioned earlier, the board determined the method by which voting will occur at this annual business meeting. They decided in January that the voting process from 2020 will be used. To discuss the voting procedures for this year, please welcome distinguished Toastmaster and registered parliamentarian, Patty Titus.
Thank you, Mr. President. If you were assigned proxies with direction on how to cast the votes, you are required to vote as instructed. For those who were not provided direction on how to vote, then you should vote what you believe is in the best interest of the clubs and Toastmasters International. For example, if you have 16 votes and you have been provided instructions on how to vote for 6 of those 16 votes, you must vote as instructed for those 6 votes. With the remaining 10 votes, you may vote what you believe is in the best interest of the clubs and Toastmasters International. If you carry 2 or more votes, you may split the votes and cast votes for more than one candidate in each election. You cannot cast more votes than you have. If you do, the system will inform you that you have overvoted and none of the votes will be submitted. To submit the ballots, check your total votes on your proxy summary report and re-enter the votes for the candidates so that the total is correct. Please ensure you enter the correct votes for each ballot question. Press Finish at the end of your electronic ballot to submit your ballot. Pursuant to Article 9, Section 3 of the bylaws of Toastmasters International, in the event any ballot cast does not result in a majority vote for that office, there shall be further balloting for that office. The board adopted a preferential voting procedure for elections when multiple ballots are possible. Those elections in which there are 3 or more candidates. Candidates will be removed from further consideration if they receive the lowest number of votes and/or less than 10% of the votes on the first ballot. Please note, for the preferential voting ballot, you will not be able to split your votes. For preferential ballots with 3 candidates, you will enter your first, second, and third preference based on what you believe is in the best interest of the clubs and Toastmasters International. Preferential voting results will be calculated using your total votes for your first preference. It is important that you enter 1, 2, and 3 on the preferential ballot. If your first preference was removed from consideration after the first ballot, your votes will be redistributed to your second preference. The candidate receiving a majority of votes cast after any redistribution is declared elected. For preferential ballots with 4 candidates, you will enter your first, second, third, and fourth preference. It is important that you enter 1, 2, and 3, and 4 on the preferential ballot. If your first preference was removed from consideration after the first ballot, your votes will be redistributed to your second preference. If both your first and second preferences were removed from consideration, your votes will be redistributed to your third preference. The candidate receiving a majority of votes cast after any redistribution is declared elected. When completing the credentials process online, you're given the opportunity to print or save your proxy summary report indicating the number of votes you have. Refer to that worksheet when casting your votes. If you wish to split your votes in one election, you may do so, but you cannot exceed the total number of votes you are entitled to cast. If you cast votes for more than the number assigned to you, the system will tell you that you have overvoted. If you are assigned proxies with direction on how to cast the votes, you are required to vote as instructed. When completing your electronic ballot, you will be able to split your votes on the first ballots. For example, if you have 10 votes on the first ballot, you may split up your 10 votes among the candidates for a particular office. Candidate A, 3 votes. Candidate B, 2 votes. Candidate C, 5 votes, for a total of 10 votes. The sum of all votes must not be higher than what is listed on your proxy summary report. If the sum of all votes is higher than what is listed on your proxy summary report, the system will give you a message that indicating that you have overvoted and your votes will not be submitted. If you input an incorrect number during voting and notice the error before you press vote, simply reselect the box, re-enter the correct numbers, and press vote. Again, if you cast more votes than what is listed on your proxy summary report, the system will indicate that you have overvoted. If you receive this message from the system, you can re-enter your votes and press vote again to submit the correct votes. On the preferential ballot questions with 3 candidates, enter 1, 2, and 3 to indicate the order of your preference, with 1 being for your first choice and 3 for your last. You must enter 1, 2, and 3 for your votes to count. On the preferential ballot question with 4 candidates, enter 1, 2, 3, and 4 to indicate the order of your preference, with 1 being for your first choice and 4 for your last. You must enter 1, 2, 3, and 4 for your votes to count. If you experience any technical difficulties, please email proxyinfo@toastmasters.org, proxyinfo@toastmasters.org.
Thank you, Patty. At this time, the 2020-2021 International Leadership Committee will present its report. Please welcome Chair, past International President, Distinguished Toastmaster, Balraj Arunasalam, as he presents their report.
Mr. President, the 2020-2021 International Leadership Committee met in accordance with Article 8 of the bylaws of Toastmasters International and Toastmasters International Policy 9.1, international campaigns and elections to nominate international officer and director candidates for election at the August 2021 annual business meeting. The International Leadership Committee met by video conference between September 2020 and March 2021 to review, recruit, interview, and nominate candidates for international office. The International Leadership Committee made its officer and director nominations decisions based on several factors: interviews conducted with each candidate, results of the candidate's assessment, candidates' Toastmasters membership and recognition history, input from current and past leaders as well as other Toastmasters members regarding the candidates, and review of the candidates' material, websites, and mailings. The 17 members of the committee were divided into 3 subcommittees to interview the international director candidates. 2 of the subcommittees each interviewed candidates from 2 regions, while the 3rd committee interviewed the candidates from the remaining 3 regions. All the subcommittees had to seek out candidates in addition to those who originally submitted their letters of intent. Each of the 3 subcommittees interviewed the 2nd vice president candidates separately. The international president-elect and 1st vice president candidates were both interviewed by the whole committee on 2 separate video conferences. The International Leadership Committee nomination process was completed in March 2021, culminating in the publication of the nomination results on the Toastmasters International website on March 24th of this year. Mr. President, members who served on the 2020-2021 International Leadership Committee, distinguished Toastmasters all are: co-chairs who served with me are from Jonestown, Texas, United States, past International President Lark Doley, and from Fullerton, California, United States, past International President Alfred Persing. Other committee members are from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, United States, from Region 1, past International Director Jim Coley, from Los Angeles, California, United States, from Region 2, past International Director Roberta Perry, from Eloy, Arizona, United States, from Region 3, past International Director Nancy Starr Cassidy, from Wahoo, Nebraska, United States, from Region 4, past International Director Patricia Hannon, from Chicago, Illinois, United States, from Region 5, past International Director Mike Rafferty, from Aurora, Ontario, Canada, from Region 6, past International Director Ross Mackay, from Oakton, Virginia, United States, from Region 7, past International Director Vicky Kinsman, from Pompano Beach, Florida, United States, from Region 8, past International Director Christina Kilburn, from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, from Region 9, past International Director Gina Cook, from Littlehampton, England, United Kingdom, from Region 10, past District Director Andy Hammond, from Doha, Qatar, from Region 11, past Region Advisor Sunny Wagis, from Wellington Point, Queensland, Australia, from Region 12, past District Director Shane Cooper, from Singapore, from Region 13, past District Director Patricia Lam, and from Dua City, Philippines. From Region 14, past International Director Elisa Tai. And the phenomenal staff liaison who work with us are Staff Liaison Mona Shah and Staff Liaison Support Kristen Chiriasis. Each member of the International Leadership Committee served with integrity and professionalism and devoted countless hours to serve the best interests of the clubs of Toastmasters International. Thank you all. Mr. President, the International Leadership Committee submits the following international officer nominations, distinguished Toastmasters all, to serve our organization with commitment and dedication. For International President-elect, Matt Kinsey. First Vice President, Marag Matheson. For Second Vice President, in alphabetical order by last name, Radhi Spear and David Templeman. Mr. President, the International Leadership Committee submits the following international director nominations by region in alphabetical order by last name, distinguished Toastmasters all, to serve our organization with commitment and dedication. Region 1, Louisa Davis and E. Tyree Johnson. From Region 3, Michael J. Hollian. From Region 5, Farzana Johan and Monica B. Rose. From Region 7, Elma Hill and Dana G. Risha. From Region 9, Ronald Servant and Jeff Sobel. From Region 11, Nazir Razak Al-Qasam, Rosie Rana and Ali Shabazz Ali Shah. From Region 13, Tanimalai Lechuman and Gauri Seshatri. Mr. President, that concludes my report on behalf of the International Leadership Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, past International President Arunaslav. Being on the ILC requires an extensive time commitment and proper evaluation of candidate assessments and interviews. Thank you again to all the ILC members who devoted time to be part of this very important process. Fellow Toastmasters, you have heard the report of the International Leadership Committee. Pursuant to Article 8, Section 3 of the bylaws of Toastmasters International, only those who have undergone the International Leadership Committee evaluation process are eligible to run for office at the annual business meeting. Prior to this meeting, all individuals who had completed the evaluation process but were not nominated by the International Leadership Committee were contacted to determine their intent to run from the floor. Each individual who indicated their intent to run from the floor provided the name of a voting member of the organization to nominate them at the business meeting. As a reminder to all voting delegates, if you wish to participate during this meeting, you must join the Zoom platform using the unique link that was emailed to you. Use the Q&A function when directed to participate. Credentials Committee member, past International President Gary Schmidt, will be monitoring the Q&A and communicating with the chair throughout the meeting. At this time, the nomination process for international officers shall continue. For the office of International President-elect from Coral Springs, Florida, United States, distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey has been nominated. There were no further nominations for International President-elect. Therefore, the nominations for the office of International President-elect are closed. There is one uncontested candidate for the office of International President-elect. Pursuant to Article 10, Section 6 of the bylaws of Toastmasters International, and without objection, the chair will dispense with a secret ballot and instruct the secretary to vote a single ballot for the candidate in this uncontested office. If you have an objection, please use the Q&A function and include your name and club number. There being no objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and direct the secretary to vote a single ballot for the candidate. The chair declares elected International President-elect Distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey. For the office of First Vice President, from Murendorf, Bavaria, Germany, Distinguished Toastmaster Morag Matheson has been nominated. There were no further nominations for First Vice President. Therefore, the nominations for the office of First Vice President are closed. There is one uncontested candidate for the office of First Vice President. Pursuant to Article 10, Section 6 of the bylaws of Toastmasters International, and without objection, the chair will dispense with a secret ballot and instruct the secretary to vote a single ballot for the candidate in this uncontested office. If you have an objection, please use the Q&A function and include your name and club number. There being no objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and direct the secretary to vote a single ballot for the candidate. The chair declares elected First Vice President, Distinguished Toastmaster Morag Matheson. For the office of Second Vice President, Distinguished Toastmasters all. From Piscataway, New Jersey, United States, Roddy Spear. And from Littleton, New Zealand, David Templeman have been nominated. There was one further nomination for Second Vice President.
I, James Ewlings, Club President of the Cranberry Area Toastmasters Club 9843, nominate Russell Drake for Second Vice President.
I accept.
Distinguished Toastmaster Russell L. Drake is nominated for Second Vice President. There being no further nominations, the nominations for the office of Second Vice President are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidate speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the office of Second Vice President, Distinguished Toastmaster Russell L. Drake.
Mr. President and Toastmasters worldwide, it is an honor to address you today. Let me start with the end at the beginning. I want to be your Second Vice President, and I'm asking for your vote. Why me? Toastmasters International is going through an unparalleled time. I want to serve on this board and use my skills in change management and organizational effectiveness to move us forward. Why me? I know your journey. You are keeping the lights on in our clubs. You are adapting to the new normal. You are asking for ideas on membership, club building, and pathways. I will work with the board of directors to gather answers and resources to create an environment that meets your needs. Why me? I have a vision. Toastmasters International is recognized by name worldwide. And we are 1% of the adult population in the communities that we serve. I was golfing and the starter noticed my Toastmaster cap and said, "That's a great organization." I smiled, and on the inside I was thinking, yes, recognition. We have work to do. Let's work together. Please vote Russell Drake, Second Vice President, Toastmasters International, Mr. President.
For the office of Second Vice President, Distinguished Toastmaster Roddy Spear.
I love belonging to an organization that cuts across national boundaries and welcomes people from different cultures and occupations. Toastmasters brings us all closer together with our common goal of personal growth. Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, growing up in Africa, my mother was worried that I wouldn't know much about my culture and took me to the only theater in Lagos that showed Hindi movies with English subtitles. When we moved back to India, I did not enjoy the movies. There were no subtitles. Today, because of COVID, I do not go to the cinema, but I have Toastmasters. Last year, the pandemic propelled us into the digital future, and the silver lining is that we've expanded our skills. Technology has brought us closer together. We are becoming a truly global organization, having members from around the world in our very own clubs. We are enjoying listening and learning about other cultures. My mother need not have worried. Circumstances beyond our control brought us the pandemic, but our resilience, resourcefulness, and relevance are what will get us through it. Resilience means adapting to challenges to make our hybrid future a worthwhile experience. Resourcefulness is creating stronger clubs, online and in person. And relevance is providing value so that our member experience is even more rewarding. Dr. Smedley challenged us to use the skills we learn in Toastmasters to make a better future for all. Let's work together to secure our Toastmasters future. Vote for Roddy Spear, your first choice for second vice president.
For the office of Second Vice President, Distinguished Toastmaster David Templeman.
Mr. International President, fellow Toastmasters, we live in unprecedented times when no one knows what the future holds. Yet, amid the uncertainty, Toastmasters is like a beacon in the darkness, needed today more than ever before. Toastmasters needs a second vice president who is courageous, agile, and visionary. A leader willing to embrace the opportunities, including enhancing our communication to our members, improving your club experience, and guaranteeing our post-COVID future. As an entrepreneur with over 30 years experience, I know how critical it is to listen to my customers and to act on their concerns. Each day in my business, I work on continuous improvement, and I will bring that to the board of directors every single day. I know how to plan for the future and have the agility to seize new opportunities. With these attributes, I know I have the vision to drive Toastmasters forward. In listening to you, the members, I'm amazed at how you have courageously faced, adapted, and cared for each other throughout the past year. Supporting you has never been more important than it is today, and our focus has to be you and your club experience. I heard your club members need a reason to stay longer through accredited programs and improved pathways experience and enhanced leadership training. I want to make Toastmasters an even better place, to lead our clubs from good standing to outstanding. And to achieve that, I need your support. I ask for your votes so together we can ensure that Toastmasters has a dynamic, successful future. Vote David Templeman for second vice president.
At this time, the nomination process for International Director shall continue. For the office of International Director from Region 1, in alphabetical order by last name, distinguished Toastmasters all. From Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, Louisa Davis. And from San Francisco, California, United States, E. Tyree Johnson have been nominated. There were no further nominations for International Director from Region 1. Therefore, the nominations for International Director from Region 1 are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidate speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the office of International Director from Region 1, Distinguished Toastmaster Louisa Davis.
Toastmasters leaders from around the world. We've all been through so much during this pandemic. When COVID hit last year, I was serving our members as a district director. While it's been challenging, I'm thankful for the opportunity to rebuild Toastmasters even better. We all love to talk about what's possible, and I've listened carefully to your ideas about pathways, building membership, creating new clubs, technology. Imagine our clubs with enough people to make it even more enjoyable. Imagine our members stepping up for every leadership opportunity. And imagine yourself making a difference. By being here today, you are making a difference for Toastmasters tomorrow. When Ricardo, one of our members, asked me, how can we rebuild our club? There's only 2 people left. I said, Ricardo, it's figure outable. Let's build a plan. So we did. We sat down and we created a relaunch plan for the club. A few months later, there were 32 people at the meeting. I joined Toastmasters in 2002 in Switzerland, an emerging market. And today, I bring to the board over 25 years of international and national nonprofit leadership. When you vote for me, you vote for someone who will listen to understand and who will ensure that your voice is heard. Let's put in place the right strategies, policies, programs at the board level to support leaders like you to rebuild Toastmasters. I believe everyone deserves a world-class Toastmasters education. Please vote Louisa Davis for your Region 1 International Director.
For the office of International Director from Region 1, Distinguished Toastmaster E. Tyree Johnson.
These unprecedented circumstances have called us to reflect on what's truly important. And no matter how you determine what was success in the past, it's now up for review. And our members have done likewise and have reflected upon the experience that is literally shifting underneath their feet. Some have chosen to just walk away. But we can work together to bring Toastmasters to be the relevant, transformative communication forum that it's always been. We face challenges across the board, but I will bring to the board an urgent energy to collaborate and bring problem-solving skills that we can commit Toastmasters to be both nimble and agile. We face challenges as teaching our members how to run effective and efficient hybrid meetings. How do we retain our members? How can we build clubs across international borders? And do we need to learn new styles of leadership in this distributed world? These questions and more face the board, but I will bring my many years of experience and skills that I've learned to build bridges across generations, across time zones, across cultures, and most importantly, mindsets. We will need all of those to come together so that we can have success. And when we come together, we will start building that success. When we keep together, we will start making progress. But when we win together, that's when we will truly find satisfaction in this journey. I ask for your vote, Tyree Johnson, Region 1 International Director.
The nomination process will continue with Region 3. For the office of International Director from Region 3, Distinguished Toastmaster from Chandler, Arizona, United States, Michael J. Holian is nominated. There was one further nomination for International Director from Region 3.
Urim Dominguez Gonzalez, Club President, Atenas Club 2108. Nominate Antonio Colorado for International Director, Region 3.
I accept the nomination.
Distinguished Toastmaster Antonio Colorado is nominated for International Director from Region 3. There being no further nominations, the nominations for International Director from Region 3 are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidates' speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the office of International Director from Region 3, Distinguished Toastmaster Antonio Colorado.
Today, when I look to the past, I see how much we have grown in this time of challenges and opportunities. All the leaders need to refocus our vision, living resiliently at a level that we didn't know about, and blaze a path for change and excellence. For me, this has been the best gift that Toastmaster has ever given me: resilience. All that experience opened my eyes to the current needs of our organization. I had the opportunity to work with leaders around the globe and understand how much we can do for all the members of the world, working for have the same experience without borders. It allowed me to visualize the next step that follow for the evolution of our organization during and after the pandemic. Today, I invite you to trust in one flexible organization with adaptability to any situation that appears on the horizon. Imagine how much we can achieve if we all think beyond our borders. The only way to expand Toastmaster is through fresh voices and updated visions about what need our members today. I invite you to choose a path for a real global organization with a representation of more ideas, voices, experiences, cultures, and diversity. Members of Toastmasters International from all the world. It's time. It's time to grow. It's time to innovate. It's time for fresh voices and new horizons. C'est l'heure. Shijohola. Yesamehe. Es tiempo. It's time to vote Antonio Colorado for International Director, Region 3.
For the office of International Director from Region 3, Distinguished Toastmaster Michael J. Holian.
I need help. I needed help 30 years ago too, and I found Toastmasters. I was scheduled to speak at a conference and my presentation skills were lacking. Maybe you or someone you know can relate to that need. The members of that first Toastmasters Club helped me with my skills, and with the guidance of the Toastmasters education program and the feedback I received, I was successful with my conference presentation. Today, my fellow club members continue to help to improve my ability to speak and lead effectively in both face-to-face and virtual forums. In this, we're not alone. In spite of a global pandemic, Toastmaster clubs around the world have continued to help members hone these skills for the past 18 months. I envision a Toastmasters future where we leverage our newly embraced virtual capability as an integral component of the communication skills that Toastmaster clubs have helped members develop over the past 100 years. We have the opportunity to find new prospective members who need to adapt to the changing communication needs of today, while at the same time providing a sense of support and community that motivates us all to step up and lead in our clubs and districts. We are in a position to offer a wider range of capabilities than we have ever done in our past. It is an exciting time to be a member of this Toastmasters organization, and I have a vision for our future. This is where I need your help. My fellow Toastmasters, I ask that you vote for Michael Holian as International Director for Region 3.
The nomination process will continue with Region 5. For the office of International Director from Region 5, in alphabetical order by last name, Distinguished Toastmasters all. From Chesterfield, Missouri, United States, Farzana Chauhan. And from Rolette, Texas, United States, Monica B. Rose are nominated. There were no further nominations for International Director from Region 5. Therefore, the nominations for the Office of International Director from Region 5 are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidates' speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the Office of International Director from Region 5, Distinguished Toastmaster Farzana Chauhan.
Greetings, members and leaders. I had an honor to see the life-changing transformations of humans due to the work of two very different leaders. First one was when Sabina raised her deformed hands, missing fingers, and said, "I am living a good life." I thought she is a positive human. Sabina continued, "It is only because of Dr. Ruth Pfau, who devoted her life to uplift the stigmatized leprosy patients excluded from the society. I learned the value of human excellence through my work on leprosy project. Second is our Dr. Smedley, who visualized how young people can be included, given respect at work and in society through communication skills to become leaders. As a board member with an extensive international experience, I aspire to collaborate on initiatives for maximizing the positive potential of Toastmasters in all parts of the world. In order for us to accelerate as an organization, board has to reevaluate what will work in getting out of this crisis in near future and in long term. I will serve to accomplish the excellence of our members who become valuable leaders like yourself in districts through initiatives aligning with new reality. I am Farzana Chauhan, humbly asking for your vote as Region 5 International Director. Please vote for Farzana Chauhan.
For the Office of International Director from Region 5, Distinguished Toastmaster Monica B. Rose.
Mr. International President, fellow leaders, growing up, my dad would say, children should be seen and not heard. In our household of 7 siblings, we were not allowed to share our thoughts or opinions. It was as if we were invisible. Much of that carried into my adult life until Toastmasters became a part of my world. I am so grateful for the circumstances that inspire us to use our voice. I've enjoyed our conversations these past 3 months. I've seen you, I've heard you, and I've taken copious notes. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on evolving our education program. I can see this ensuring that we have sustainable growth for the years to come. Your opinions on developing our leaders show that we all have the same desire to support quality clubs in achieving excellence. Thank you for voicing your concerns on those things that impact us globally. We are one organization, yet diversified by our nationalities, language, and culture. I am no longer silent. Women of visionary influence and Toastmasters has taught me that many voices are stronger than one. With my lifelong experience as an analytical and strategic thinker, I can see us redefining our organization through innovation and automation, reshaping the future of Toastmasters. I am ready more than ever to serve you on our board of directors. Together towards tomorrow, our collective voices can make a difference. For your international director from Region 5, please vote Monica Rose.
The nomination process will continue with Region 7. For the Office of International Director from Region 7, in alphabetical order by last name, Distinguished Toastmasters all. From Chapel Hill, North Carolina, United States, Elmer Hill. And from Knoxville, Virginia, United States, Dana G. Richard. There was one further nomination for International Director from Region 7.
I'm Reggie Ford, James River Toastmasters, 0198578, past International Director. Nominate Perry Neal for International Director from Region 7.
I accept the nomination.
Distinguished Toastmaster Perry Neal is nominated for International Director from Region 7. There being no further nominations, the nominations for International Director from Region 7 are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidate speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the office of International Director from Region 7, Distinguished Toastmaster Elmer Hill.
Thank you, Mr. International President. On October 24th, 2024, Toastmasters International will celebrate its 100th year anniversary. If our founder, Dr. Ralph Smedley, could be with us to celebrate, what would he find? My dream is that he finds an organization that is serving the needs of all members everywhere with excellence. An organization that has emerged from the pandemic stronger, is thriving, and is growing. District leaders, club leaders, board members, I know and understand that the last 18 months have been difficult for us in Toastmasters. As a district leader at the early stages of the pandemic, I had the responsibility of leading my district to split into 2 districts. This was a successful reformation of one of the largest districts in Toastmasters and an example of my leadership on a critical task during a crisis. As a member of the board of directors, I will look at every proposal and ask several critical questions. Is this a proposal our members want? Is this a proposal our members need? Is this a proposal our members will use? Vote for Elmer Hill for International Director. Vote for a board of directors that will keep Dr. Smedley's vision alive. Together, let's make Dr. Smedley proud. Mr. International President.
For the Office of International Director from Region 7, Distinguished Toastmaster Perry Neal.
Everyone tells you just how much you're going to learn when you run for International Director, but it's not something you can truly comprehend until you experience it for yourself. My fellow Toastmasters, I feel as if I've received a master's degree in international relations, as well as what it takes to serve on the board of a global organization. I've learned from leaders that served 30 years ago, as well as those serving today. But most of all, I've learned from my fellow members about the challenges they face every single day. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the part that you've played in this education. The past 18 months has been one of the most challenging periods in Toastmasters' existence, and now we're looking to the future and what comes next. You, the district leaders, as well as the international officers and directors that you elect today, will decide what that future looks like. For myself, I would like to see a future where we recognize the importance of our international clubs and districts by improving and expanding our service to them. A future where Pathways becomes the world-class education program that we know it can be. A program that not only looks to the future, but also honors the past. A future where we come roaring back from this pandemic to launch a new golden age of Toastmasters. I'm not going to lie to you, it won't be easy, but then a worthwhile future rarely is. Together, we can get there. I've spoken with most of you and you've heard my plans and my ideas. Now I urge you to cast your vote for the future and vote for me, Perry Neal, International Director from Region 7.
For the Office of International Director from Region 7, Distinguished Toastmaster Dana G. Richard.
Mr. International President, fellow Toastmasters and leaders, the long, dark night of the past year and a half is not yet over, but we begin to see the light on the distant horizon, promising, perhaps, the dawn of a bright new day. Yet that dawn will not break calmly. The road ahead of us is still long and hard, and the winds of change will continue to blow across our path. According to the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus, the only constant is change, and we have had many changes in Toastmasters over these last few years. Post-pandemic, there will be a new normal with more changes, many of which we will shape with our choices. Those changes will present new challenges, and every one of us, every member, club, district, and the board will need to work together to navigate them. But there are also tremendous new opportunities. I believe I will be value added to the board by meeting the challenges, by finding the opportunities. I bring experience from a 30-year career as a military officer and second career in federal civil service, as well as the private sector and my service on other boards. Experience in strategic planning, developing and implementing policy, managing multi-million-dollar budgets for organizations during times of extensive change. I also have the privilege of leading one of only 3 U.S. districts to distinguish in the 2019-2020 program year. According to Charles Whelan, change is inevitable, but progress depends on what we do with that change. I'm asking for your vote, a vote for progress as we journey together toward that bright future on that distant horizon. Dana Richard, International Director from Region 7.
The nomination process will continue with Region 9. For the Office of International Director from Region 9, in alphabetical order by last name, Distinguished Toastmasters all. From Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Ronald Servant. And from East Greenbush, New York, United States, Jeff Sobel are nominated. There were no further nominations for International Director from Region 9. Therefore, the nominations for International Director from Region 9 are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidate speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the Office of International Director from Region 9, Distinguished Toastmaster Ronald Servant.
The skills, experience, and self-confidence I've acquired through my participation in Toastmasters have completely transformed my life. Mr. International President, fellow Toastmasters, gratitude drives me to give back to Toastmasters, to see my club members transform, to see you thrive in the program. I want to see this great organization continue to prosper and grow to provide a place for others to gain what I have gained. The biggest lesson Toastmasters has taught me is to listen, and that's my simple pledge to you, that I will listen and bring your feedback to the board. I've heard that the Pathways user experience needs to be transformed. I've heard that we are not yet a truly international organization when it comes to World Headquarters office hours, language, and logistics. I've heard that we need to improve transparency. I will use the skills you've all helped me acquire to bring all I've heard and learned to the board, becoming the champion for our issues. The pandemic has presented huge challenges to our organization, but our move online has provided us an opportunity to connect in ways and at a scale that hadn't been possible pre-pandemic. I will work to ensure the lessons and gains from this experience are brought forward. My experience as a board member for nonprofit community organizations, along with my professional experience leading technology teams in multinational corporations, and of course, my experience as a district leader, club officer, and most importantly, club member, have provided me with the skills and insight required at this time in the history of Toastmasters to effectively guide our organization through its current challenges. I humbly request that you vote for me, Ronald Servant for International Director from Region 9.
For the Office of International Director from Region 9, Distinguished Toastmaster Jeff Sobel.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters. Many of us join Toastmasters for ourselves, but we stay in Toastmasters for each other. Where else can we find a group of people that spans the globe, focused on personal improvement and on helping others to do the same? Toastmasters is truly an international family, my family, a family of which I'm proud to be a member and to which I'm dedicated to serve. This past year has been a painful one. The pandemic has changed our lives in many ways and given us countless challenges. We've experienced failure and loss, but we've also seen personal growth and success. Many of us have built relationships with members, our family, around the world. We've learned new ways to communicate and to lead, and we've begun to build the skills to bring us into the future. A future where members everywhere can share their best practices to help all of our clubs be strong, to be places where members can immerse themselves in the Toastmasters experience and become the best version of themselves. A future where our education program continues to evolve to meet our members' ever-changing needs. A future where Toastmasters is known everywhere and our envisioned future can be realized. We can build that future together today. I ask for your vote. Please vote Jeff Sobel, International Director, Region 9. Mr. International President.
The nomination process will continue with Region 11. For the Office of International Director from Region 11, in alphabetical order by last name, distinguished Toastmasters all. From Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, Nazir Kazak Al-Qassem. From Nairobi, Kenya, Rosie Rana. And from Muharraq, Bahrain, Ali Shabazz Ali Shah are nominated. There was one further nomination for International Director from Region 11.
I, Dennis E. Wooldridge, past International Director and Club President of West Volusia Toastmasters, Club 2138, nominate Solomon Almaty for International Director, Region 11.
I accept the nomination.
Distinguished Toastmaster Solomon Almaty is nominated for International Director for Region 11. There being no further nominations, the nominations for International Director from Region 11 are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidate speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the Office of International Director from Region 11, Distinguished Toastmaster Solomon Almaty.
Mr. International President, fellow leaders, Toastmaster has changed my life from someone who hardly can manage a basic conversation to someone who stands confident and tall in the crowd, lead with passion and serve with unlimited commitments. Toastmaster has changed many people's lives. Right now, someone is delivering an icebreaker. Right now, someone is finding the youth leadership program a safe place to build confidence. Right now, someone is learning a new skill to create an opportunity and/or address a challenge. We must give back to this great organization. In this campaign, I had that internal debate to stop saying I and focus on we. But still, I cannot help focusing on the 3 important I's: imaginations, innovations, and implementation. With imagination, we can influence the growth by establishing global partnerships with government, educational, and private entities. We can develop an outreach program with incentives, marketing plan, and policies and procedure to establish them. With innovation, we can introduce new digital pathways, call it Pathway Plus, to cater to our members' professional needs. Pathway in sale marketing, business management, among others. With implementation, we can support our members with consistent quality and service across all districts with an agile reality 24/7 call center, digital translations, and localizing branding. Fellow leaders, leadership is influence. I ask you to give me the opportunity to serve as the International Director of Region 11. Vote Solomon Al-Mahdi.
For the Office of International Director from Region 11, Distinguished Toastmaster Nazir Kasak Al-Qassem.
Since the beginning of March 2020, we have been facing challenges and going through tough times. But we managed because we are resilient. Now we are all anxious to bounce back. Mr. President Richard Pick, my fellow Toastmasters friends from around the world, thank you for making a difference, electing the best leaders who will help us bounce back and move forward. We belong to a great organization that has transformed our lives. We are better leaders and more effective communicators. During this campaign, I have been listening to you. Your concerns are my concerns. And what's important to our members is important to me. It would be my greatest honor to serve you on the board and be your global voice. As International Director, I bring 23 years of service leadership in Toastmasters and 33 years professional experience leading in one of the most successful corporations with strong skills in strategic planning and innovation. Toastmasters needs dedicated and experienced leaders today more than ever. When you vote for me, you vote for a service leader who believes diversity is our strength, and my mission is to empower members to raise the bar of excellence. I'm committed to serve you with passion and integrity, and I humbly ask for your support. Please make Nazir your #1 choice for International Director from Region 11. Mr. President.
For the Office of International Director from Region 11, Distinguished Toastmaster Rosie Rana.
Mr. International President, fellow Toastmasters, as an African of Asian descent, my village mates had predicted my future the day I was born. I would marry, have children, and be the keeper of my home. My reality today is starkly different from the predicted one. It was my Toastmasters journey that helped me rise above the narrative and make an imprint well beyond my home turf. Each one of us has a unique story, but the common thread which we share is the impact that Toastmasters has had in transforming us as leaders. The past 2 years compelled us to rise to challenges and disruptions. Tremendous lessons have been learned. Wisdom comes through the wounds, and we are wiser for these experiences. But even as we are engulfed by the pandemic, let us not forget that every cloud has a silver lining and every adversity carries seeds of opportunity. The stark difference in our reality warrants an urgent focus on rebuilding our membership for a thriving future. I share my vision as an acronym of my name, R, resilient and agile. O, operating with excellence and optimal technology. Z, zooming richer program benefits to new and existing territories. And Y, always being you focused on member excellence, member achievement, and magical club experiences. The past is the past, but together we can make our future rosy. I respectfully ask, vote for Rosie Rana, International Director from Region 11.
For the Office of International Director from Region 11, Distinguished Toastmaster Ali Shabazz Ali Shah.
When you look at Toastmasters, what do you see? Well, for me, I see an onion. Mr. International President and fellow Toastmasters. Toastmasters is so much like this onion made up of many layers, and each layer represents growth opportunities. I have been wrapping layers around me for the past 17 years. I didn't mean layers around my stomach. The most beautiful of them is the layer of service. I grew serving beyond boundaries as a fellow member, district leader, and region advisor. We change and develop at every layer, and change is essential to shape our present and the future. As an educator and business strategist, I have the skills to work with fellow board members and shape up the layer of strategy. Recently, I enrolled my daughter for the youth leadership program, and guess what? Just like many young leaders, she has her vision set. I heard similar stories of change, transformation, and challenges from fellow members and district leaders past few months. Let's work together at every layer of opportunity and ensure growth for everybody. Allow me to engage with fellow board members to strategically contribute to enhance the learning opportunities for our members. Please vote Ali Shahbaz Ali as your first choice for International Director, Region 11. Thank you.
The nomination process will continue with Region 13. For the office of International Director from Region 13, in alphabetical order by last name, distinguished Toastmasters all. From Georgetown, Penang, Malaysia, Tanamali L. And from Bengaluru, Karnataka, India, Gauri Sheshadri are nominated. There were no further nominations for International Director from Region 13. Therefore, the nominations for International Director from Region 13 are closed. Each candidate was asked to record a 2-minute speech. Candidate speeches will be presented in alphabetical order by last name. For the office of International Director from Region 13, distinguished Toastmaster Tanamali L.
An excitement went down my blood veins when I decided to go for International Director, a prestigious opportunity that creates an avenue to bring greater goodness to the world. Rising from nowhere and getting to somewhere, as an authentic individual, I take pride in according my amazing transformation in life to Toastmasters. This was recently multiplied when I heard the great news of Toastmasters International joining up with the Rotary International to share their respective unique features for mutual benefits of mankind. As a Rotarian myself, how else can I not be delighted? What an amazing sync-up it would be for me, gaining the experience as an employee from a global financial institution, tapping the community presence to Rotary exposure, and blending these with my deep-rooted love for Toastmasters. I am indeed grateful to the universe for this blessed golden experience that continues to mold and shape me. It's always my intention to make Toastmasters a household name in every organization since I am a living testimony myself. My ardent wish is to expand the reach of communicational excellence to younger people right at their youthful days while persistently feeding the ropes of leadership towards transformational personality. I am determined to walk extra mile to create opportunities while sensibly adapting my activities within infused enthusiasm to bring the organization and its members to the optimum. Emulating a people-oriented strategy in my personal life, I am humbly availing myself to serve beyond borders to make the world a better place to live in. Make your choice for candidate Region 13, International Director, the humble and simple Tanimalai L. I may not be the best, but I am prepared to be better than yesterday to offer everyone.
For the Office of International Director from Region 13, Distinguished Toastmaster, Gauri Seshadri.
If a one shy introvert like me, who even had difficulty saying hello to strangers, can now aspire to serve at this level, that is the magic of Toastmasters. Toastmasters has helped me find my voice and also discover leadership skills I never dreamt I would have. Mr. President and fellow Toastmasters, living and working in multiple cities across the world has opened my eyes to the growing needs of an even more connected global community. I've come to realize that my voice, experience, and skill set can contribute to making a difference to our members worldwide. This is the true power of Toastmasters, connecting us, helping us grow, not just ourselves, but our community too. In times like these, they say, when nothing is certain, anything is possible. Well, Toastmasters was originally designed for in-person meetings. Today, we are online and are getting ready to enter a new era of hybrid meetings. Leaders at every level, club, district, and international, I invite you on this journey of exploring possibilities to shape this organization we love to be even more resilient and adaptive to the challenges our members face. The world has been on hold for too long due to the pandemic. Let's step forward together. It would be my honor to serve you as the next International Director from Region 13. Please vote for Gauri Seshadri.
Thank you to all the candidates, and thank you all very much for attending. The electronic ballot is now active and will remain so until Friday, August 27th at 9:20 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, UTC-4. You can access your ballot by logging into your account on the Toastmasters International website and going to the View Proxy Information page, accessed from your My Profile page. Please refer to your proxy summary report, which indicates the number of votes you have. If you are assigned proxies with direction on how to cast the votes, you are required to vote as instructed. For those who were not provided direction on how to vote, use your own judgment and vote for what you believe is in the best interest of the clubs and Toastmasters International. You may split the votes and cast votes for more than one candidate on the first ballot in each election. You cannot cast more votes than you have. If you do, the system will tell you that you have overvoted and your votes will not be submitted until you correct the overvoting. If you input an incorrect number during voting and you notice the error before you press vote, simply reselect the box, re-enter the correct number, and press vote. If you receive an overvote message, you can enter the correct votes and press vote again. Enter 1, 2, and 3 on the preferential ballot questions for second vice president and for Region 7, or 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Region 11 to indicate your preference. You must enter 1, 2, and 3 for second vice president and for Region 7, and 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Region 11 for your votes to count. Thank you to all the dedicated Toastmasters who have assisted with the annual business meeting. The annual business meeting will adjourn on Friday, August 27th, after the election results have been announced. That session of the annual business meeting will commence at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, UTC-4. The President's inauguration will be held on Saturday, August 28th at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, UTC-4. It is hoped that you will be present to help welcome the new board of directors. Without objection, this meeting will adjourn Friday, August 27, after the election results have been announced. If you have an objection, please use the Q&A function and include your name and club number. There being no objections, the annual business meeting will adjourn on Friday, August 27th, after the election results have been announced.